What's up, everybody? My name is Blue Drake, and I'm one of the developers for Operation Harsh Doorstop. And today, I thought it would make sense to make a video talking a little bit about what our long-term vision is for Operation Harsh Doorstop. And the reason I wanted to make this video is I think some people, especially when they first experience the game, maybe have a little bit of a misunderstanding when it comes to what we're trying to achieve and what our vision is for this project. And I wanted to talk a little bit, not just about our long-term roadmap for what we're hoping to achieve with the game, but also to clarify what place we think Operation Harsh Doorstop is going to have in the industry when we are finished. And I think a perfect way to start off this conversation is to talk about a lot of the things that people currently compare Operation Harsh Doorstop to. So obviously, there's a lot of similar games out there like Squad, Hell Let Loose, Postscriptum, and people ask a lot, what is going to set Operation Harsh Doorstop apart from these games? And there's kind of two answers to this question. The first answer is we actually do have a lot of plans for really cool features and mechanics that we haven't seen any other games do. But the second answer to that question is that that question doesn't really make sense here. And if you're asking that, you might actually be missing the point entirely of what we're trying to create here. And you may not be able to appreciate the potential that what we're hoping to achieve can have long term. And when I talk to people about this, I find that the best way to explain what we're doing is to compare ourselves to other projects, not even necessarily games, but things that have a similar spirit to what we're trying to create. So, for instance, you wouldn't necessarily compare something like Audacity, which is an awesome, free, but simple audio editing tool, to something like FL Studio, which is another awesome editing tool, but costs anywhere from $100 to $400. And this example can go for a whole bunch of other things. For instance, the idea of comparing something like Blender to Maya, which are both really cool 3D editing tools, but one is a completely free piece of software that you can download and utilize to make games with without any license agreements or any other barriers to entry, and the other is a highly commercial, professional licensed tool that you can purchase in order to do 3D modeling work. Both of them are technically capable of the same things, and there's a lot of feature overlap, but the spirit and the legality surrounding what you can and can't do with these different pieces of software is vastly different. And I could go on with examples like this, comparing things like 7-Zip to WinRAR, Ubuntu to Windows, open broadcasting software to XSplit, and even things that aren't open source, like comparing Discord to Slack. And I think we can all agree the fact that Discord is a completely free and open tool that anybody can download and utilize has completely transformed the way that people build and manage communities online. If Discord even cost something as little as $1, or maybe even less, even if it cost 50 cents, the impact that that could have had on how much Discord has transformed the online community could have been absolutely massive. One of the reasons that Discord has been successful is because it is completely free and completely open for anybody to download and use. And that's what we're hoping to do with Operation Harsh Doorstop. The objective isn't necessarily to create anything different, although that's not off the table. There's lots of things that we could do differently from many other tactical shooter games on the market, and we absolutely have plans to do so. But that isn't really the goal. The goal is to create a first-person shooter game that is as open, free, and accessible as something like Discord. And we're hoping that if we do that, it will potentially have the same transformative power in the first-person shooting gaming community that Discord has had in the online social community. And a big part of the process that goes into building something like that isn't necessarily doing things differently. It's just building things the way that we know they should be built, creating the features that we know the gaming community wants and expects in a basic first-person shooter game. And once those things are done, and we give this game to the community and allow you all to do whatever you want with it, the sky is the limit when it comes to the kinds of things you can create, or even the kinds of things that you could do differently from other commercial first-person shooter games on the market. And furthermore, even though our first objective isn't necessarily to do anything different from other tactical shooter games or other commercial projects on the market, once our primary objective is complete and we finally have a free, open first-person shooter that is available to the community at large, there's also nothing stopping our own development team from doing cool, innovative things that no other game development studios have done, and turning this game not just into a free, open first-person shooter, but also implementing features that make it stand out from everybody else, even other commercial games. And I think when that point comes, that's going to be an additional massive turning point for the Operation Harsh Doorstop project, because that is something that I feel is absolutely inevitable. And when you look at other similar projects like Project Reality that were also completely free and open, not only did they create a great base first-person shooter game, but by the end of that project's life cycle, they were also doing things that no other game development studios, even fully funded commercial game development studios, were doing. And that paved the way for this whole new genre of games that have recently released, like Squad and Hell Let Loose, that everyone has been enjoying. We're hoping that Operation Harsh Doorstop is going to have a similar long-term impact on the first-person shooter gaming community for the next generation of video games, in the same way that Project Reality had an influence on the previous generation of video games. And I think that if we can do that at any cost, that will be absolutely worth it, because Project Reality spawned a whole new genre of games that have gone on to make millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. And I think that if that was what the payoff was for Project Reality existing, then if we can achieve that with Operation Harsh Doorstop and a next generation game engine, but with the same free and open spirit that Project Reality had, that will be absolutely worth the effort. So hopefully this makes sense. This is a little bit of a long-winded video, but I thought it was important to explain from the heart a little bit more clearly what the objective of Operation Harsh Doorstop is. I see a lot of people nitpicking little things and features that are still a work in progress, like vaulting or sound effects, things that we are still absolutely working on. But I think sometimes it makes me aware that a lot of people are still missing the point of what we're building. Our objective isn't just to build an ultimate tactical shooter that is better than the rest, although that is absolutely something we intend to do over time. But more importantly, the objective is to create a platform and a free open game that everybody can use in order to build the next generation of video games. And I think the only way to do that is to create something free and open in the same way that Discord has been free and open. And I'm hoping that if we do that in the way that somebody like Discord has, that we can have the same transformative power on this community in a positive way that something like Discord has had on the community in a positive way. And continuing with the Discord metaphor, actually, even things like the Nitro in Discord, where you can utilize the platform completely for free, but you can pay an optional monthly amount to support development, is pretty similar to our model as well. So, again, if you believe in this idea of creating an open and free first-person shooter that will hopefully be the basis of a whole new first-person shooting community that you might even be able to participate in and build your career from, go and support us on Patreon to get some passive perks and other little things that we can show our appreciation with while you help support development of this project. Besides that, of course, if you want to keep up to date with development of Operation Harsh Doorstop, make sure you press subscribe on this channel, and hopefully I will see you all on the battlefield very soon.
Quit fucking around, we got contact!